What is beauty? A concept? An abstraction? An emotion? Sometimes an instant that feels like an eternity. A secluded corner inside of us, roused by the wind, or the smell of the sea, or by a song coming from afar. No matter how or when it comes to us, it's always a captivating moment when our heartbeat matches the beat of the universe, and we discover that we can impact the world by spreading our affection for the landscape that we've carried within us since we were born. And so there's no need for fences. We need only respect and awareness, and the kind of reverence reserved for the wisest and eldest of us. Because we are the keepers. What is beauty? Beauty is our responsibility.
Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, everyone, or good evening, everyone, according to where are you at in this moment, in which part of the world. So it is a really great pleasure to host the next 60 minutes with you, talking about evaluation and assessment tools. This is a really interesting topic, and I think it actually will definitely generate a lot of ideas if we keep in mind how to do it, what to do it, the reason why using this methodology. I will provide to you in these 60 minutes some ideas, guys, because I mean, everything has to be somehow then recreated, adjusted according to your personal situation, being a salon owner, being behind the chair, or simply being a boot rental. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can definitely use the process. Okay, so that is what is the goal for today. Before we go back to the, well, that's it. Before we go and start with the content, it is always important, either for myself, in order to make sure that we maximize the timing we have to spend together, in order and making sure that we all use our body, our mind, you know, and all the tools we have to support our learning. So the first thing that I want to do, guys, is sending to you my personal virtual hug. And actually, this is also a hug on behalf of the whole WNS team. So welcome, guys, to this class. Second point is make sure, actually, I'm not sharing the screen in this moment, I guess, right? I think I have, wait a second, because I probably missed to share the screen. And this is my bad. Sorry, guys. So this, okay, now we can go ahead. Give me a second. Something is not working here. Okay, very good. So now the second point is, I was saying, is is making sure that you have your own coffee, tea, or whatever you want to drink during this hour to stay, you know, hydrated and to stay happy and so on. So this is my espresso. Okay, now, as every single class, let's say, has need to you know, take some notes. Taking notes is a good way to literally improve our capacity of information retention. So make sure you have your own, you know, paper and pen beside of you. So if you want, just annotate something. Questions. Let's talk about question, guys. This is I know that is a digital class, but is even though is we are in a digital class, what is important, it is that we can interact together. I want to ask you guys to tell me if you can see the button of raising your hand. Can you see it? And if you see it, make sure you press it. Yes, very good, very good, very good. Thank you so much. You also, guys, I'm gonna allow you to talk, okay? So basically, I want to make sure that you know all the features of this beautiful, fantastic platform, which is Zoom. If you press your own space bar in your keyboard, the long button down here, as long you are keeping pressed, you can talk. Okay, you can talk. So you are allowed to talk. Now, because I want to create as much as possible interaction between us, even though we are in a class but not physically together. So let's see if we can make it. So use the chat, use the raise hand button, or, you know, the Q&A to provide me your comment, your thoughts, your questions. Make sure we are going to really use our features, our capacity. Now, that being said, let's go back to the fact. As you have seen, have heard probably a few seconds ago, my phone was not in a silent mode, and now it is. And the reason why is because I don't want to be distracted. I'm here only for you, and I would ask you guys to try to avoid any type of distraction, notification, and so on. Last and not least, but I've already been through this. I mean, as I said, when we are in a class, it doesn't matter if it is a physical class or if it is a digital class, interaction are really what we need. Okay, so it's really what we need. So as much we keep the interaction high, as much our learning is going to be high. And this is it is a proven rule. It's a proven stats in the way our brain is working. Now, that being said, let's begin with our class, with our content. Basically, this is what we have touched in the previous one last week. Last week, we spoke about client typologies and proper action to do, right? I just want to make sure, I mean, some of you might was probably in the class, or some of you maybe have seen it recorded in our Davines Education YouTube channel. However, this is what we have done, and I think it's important just to recall this, because there's going to be some connection in the content of today. So we spoke about clientele and type of clients. You know, we have basically existing clients, abandonist, or new clients. These are the three situations. If we think about existing clients, we might have loyal clients or extender. And in between the extender, clients, there might be people who are simply not coming so often in the salon anymore, but they are only doing hair in your salon. Or otherwise, the second situation is the fact that they extend the time in between one visit and another one, but they are also using at home some home care color, home care treatment, and so When we go to the next category, which are the abandonees, are people who are used to be your clientele, your clients, but they are not anymore. They are probably going somewhere else. Or new clients, which are basically, they might be a referral, means recommended from your existing clients. They are probably a friend of them and they just come to visit you, or simply passing through your window and they enter like coming from Mars. Okay, so from this point, we basically came to ended up to the fact that we have major clients categories, which are 4. So we have the loyal, the stretcher, the extender, the abandonist, and the new. Also, we spoke about the media action to do, medias basically. So which are the media which are available today to be in touch with your client and to use them for communicate whatever you need to communicate to stay in touch with them. As you can see, there are here 12, but in the reality there are even more which are not mentioned here, but those are the major ones, right? Now, also what we went through, it was the fact that when we, according to the type of client, okay, according to according to the type of client, maybe this one, you might use some specific type of, I don't know, some type of media, but also what we have seen is what was a must-have action to do, a recommended action to do, or a nice-to-have action to do. So this was what we have been through last week during the class. Today we're going to, and there is going to be some, as I said already before, we're going to have some connection in between. So basically what we are doing, it's literally a path of content, right? So today we're going to talk about assessment and evaluation. First of all, what is the difference between evaluation and assessment? Well, basically the major difference is this. When we talk about evaluation, we're basically evaluating a process. When we talk about assessment, it is more about individuals. Okay, this is the major, I would say the major difference. Okay, now the point is, okay, we understood that one is more taking care about the process and procedure, and the other one about individual performances. Okay, the next question is why to do it? And here there is one thing, how to do it. Actually, it's more than one question, is why to do it, but also how to do it. And here is interesting. The point is how, I mean, if we think about how to do it or why to do it, we need to think about, first of all, if you did attend to number are not so boring number one of the discussion that we had, it was a matter of, guys, if you are listening today here, it's because you are seeking for some relevant content for you, for your business. You are seeking the way somehow some path or some good tips to grow your business, right? But one of the major, I would say, the major statement we came out in number are not so boring one, it was this one, guys. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it, because you lose the reference point, you lose benchmarks. So, and that was more, that moment was more related to understanding the numbers of the silence. Okay, what are the figures that need the simple figures that you can start to measure, you start to track, right? To build your historical turnover, rotation, and so on. When we think about evaluation and assessment here, it is a little bit not, I mean, we're not in this case talking about these type of figures, but we're talking about literally evaluating the procedure we have in ACT, with the process we have in ACT, and also individual performances. Now, related to that, okay, so now we know why. Now we know why to do it. Let's go through how to do it. So basically, how to develop a system for evaluation or assess, okay? Because these two, the system is then the same. The procedure to build is the same. Then one is more related to the, as I said, to the process of the salon. One is more the individuals. First of all, we need to have a form, as in the little drone on the left. You know, we need to create a form that is meant to be used for that. Of course, it's not the only thing to do. It's the fact that we need to identify the performance measures. So what we want to track, what are, what is important to be measured. Then we need to set guidelines for providing a feedback, okay? Especially if we talk about individuals. If we talk about system, it's probably, and you are leading the system, it's more about talking with yourself. If we, then one more thing is the fourth point here is to create a disciplinary and termination procedures. Whoa, what does it mean? So, I mean, it's creating protocols, creating, yeah, basically it's creating protocols. And then also is setting some timing in which doing and perform this evaluation. So that it can be, I mean, of course, there's going to be the first time, right? Let's pretend that now, today, we're going to learn some tools and we were going to rework on these tools. And then you can say, okay, now I'm going to create this evaluation. Now, what's next? It should not be only one time, you know, spot. It should be something that is basically rescheduled in a consistent way. In yearly, I don't know. It can be 3 times a year. It can be 2 times a year. It can be 1 time a year. However, it should be planned in a consistent way. My personal suggestion is the fact that probably 3 times a year is good. Once every quarter, no, once every 4 months, maybe even once every quarter, 4 times a year, it could be good. So you have a medium period to be, oh, I got the fly here around me. So basically, I mean, you can have 3 or 4 months in between one and the other evaluation, which means you can make some adjustment to the end results. You know, you have a result, there is something that you can celebrate, right? There is always something to celebrate, and maybe there is something that you want to improve and making some adjustment, the direction, and you got 3-4 months in between. They're going to allow to you to create some adjustment, some strategy. Talking about strategy, I'm going to go here, guys. Let's go to the moon. Okay, so what we see here it's now our beautiful planet, and a little bit far away is the moon. Okay, so why we're using this example? Let me explain. So basically, when we get, I mean, in 1960, 61, I think it was, or more, when John Fitzgerald Kennedy announced to the world that America was, United States were aimed to reach the moon and having the first man on the moon, right? So from there, that was an incredible challenge. And if you think about the technologies they had at that time, it was really incredible. So, but anyway, we're not talking about the moon. We're talking about the process that brought the man to the moon. And here's the point, because the challenge was of course sending the man on the moon. But the challenge was also, okay, how this man is going to get back from the moon, right? So that was even probably even more difficult thinking about that. Now, today we're not to learn about how the men get to the moon, but we're going to take at least an understanding to the fact that the men get to the moon, and with a specific process of study, right? Which is, it has been used from NASA, and is this one. It is the PERT. It's called PERT, Program Evaluation and Review Technique. Okay, this is the process basically the NASA did use to send the moon. To send the man on the moon and going back. So which means the process starts not from how can we bring the man on the moon, but it starts to be broken down in several phases. I don't know how many, tons of phases, starting from the moon, not from the heart, which let me explain better, okay? So let's pretend that the moon is the final product, okay? Because the goal was to get in the man there. So the moon is the final product. How can we get there? And not, instead of starting from the heart and going upward, it was more, okay, what it should happen a minute before, what should happen 10 minutes before, what should happen, what we do need to have in place, what should happen I don't know, an hour before, what should happen a day before, and what we need to have in place. So, you know, all the needs you have, which is then becoming like sub-branches, a ton of sub-branches, okay? It's like when you create a project with the post-it notes, and then you brainstorm, and then you move the post-it notes here and there, but basically starting from a reverse mode, starting from the end, not starting from the beginning. So what I want to make sure that I explain to you, and I want to go back here just for a second, is the fact my let's say message to you today, it is about, okay guys, you are a stylist behind the chair, you are a boot rental, you are a salon owner, you are working with yourself, or you're working with a team. It doesn't matter, because what we are talking here, it can be used in any stage, in any level, in any type of involvement in the business. So basically, it is about understanding that if you're already working, okay, not now, maybe I guess we are still all in a lockdown, but sooner we're going to go back in the salon working, okay? And of course, we're going to have contingency and so on. However, here's the point. let's for a moment forget the COVID-19, right? Let's just recall back 2-3 months ago when we were, let's say, apparently living in our world of normality, right? You was going in the salon, having your fully book or agenda or your booking agenda and so on. So let's think about the results you get till there and the level of satisfaction you get till there. And if there was a gap in the satisfaction, here is what we can do. Okay, let's pretend the level of my satisfaction is the product, but my ideal product is not, and my ideal product is the moon, okay? So if my ideal product is the moon, okay, now we have an end product that is our goal, right? That is the goal. Okay, cool. How far we are from the moon? Are we far as the astronaut in 1960, or we are much closer? This is something that you guys personally need to understand and need to assess and evaluate, because nobody else can do it. Okay, nobody else can do it. Means deciding which is which is your target level. It's something that it's up to you. I'm using the moon just to simplify, but you can decide what is your target level. Now, talking about how to break down the distance between where we are at and the moon, which is our personal ending objective, there are some steps, okay? And we're going to talk about that. So basically, we have number one, we need to address and assess and evaluate the knowledge we have. Also, we need to evaluate the competencies we have, okay? And why not also the skill set we have, okay? And last but not least, the managerial part of us that we have, okay? So these are the four main areas of evaluation, right? Macro area of evaluation that we will consider today. Thinking about what does it mean? What's the difference between knowledge, competencies, and skill set? Basically, the knowledge is what is describing the information we have. Usually, when we think about knowledge, it's something that is related to the past. Means, okay, I did study that. I did study in the past. Knowledge is not something that is talking about the present or the future. Knowledge is related to what we did learn till now. Okay, is about information we contain. Now, competencies is a little bit different because it's the manner and it's not the manner. It's the manner and the capacity we do have to logically use the information we had till yesterday. So it's somehow the knowledge is like a book, the competencies is the applied. How can I apply my capacity to apply the book I know to the reality, which is in the present moment, okay? I hope this is clear for you guys. And but it's important to understand that, because often when we talk about knowledge, know-how, competencies, skill set, there's quite a foggy area, gray area in between. They are all connected, but there is a little bit of difference. Then it's important to understand also the skill set we have. For example, I might understand how to cut a bob, like the one blonde here in the back. I might understand the let's say, the procedure that helped me to get to that. But it doesn't mean that my hands skill set is good enough to get a nice bob with a sharp edges, sharp, precise edges. So that's the difference. I can get the competencies to get there. Maybe my skill set is not yet enough at this level. Okay, that is what is important to subdivide. Now, talking about management, I mean, there are all the areas that help you to get a good business. So basically it's about leading, but not leading other people only. It's about basically leading action and so on. Okay, hope this is clear enough. Actually, I'm gonna ask you guys, you can absolutely shout a comment by voice by pressing the spacebar, or shout something in the chat, and I'm gonna wait for some of your reaction. Hello guys, are you there? Oh, good. Thank you, Lori. Anybody else there? Guys, are you there? Just raise your hand if you're there. Thank you. Thank you, guys. As I said before, it is because I can't see you, you know, it's so sometimes it's also important for us that from the other side to understand if is, you know, is it clear enough, the language, is it clear what I'm trying to explain, you know, or even simply one thought that you had or a comment that you had, please, you know, feel free to share. There is no right and wrong here. We are literally here to support and to share. Okay, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bachenko. Now, if those are the macro area that contains many more things, right? So we're gonna break down these areas a little bit more, even though I can tell you, however I'm gonna show you something, I'm telling you it can be expanded much more and getting even more detailed. But for time reason, it was seriously impossible to do it. Again, guys, I always telling you that you can be in touch with me by shouting an email or Facebook or whatever. I will be very glad to support you and to give you more support and answer if you have specific question. So I'm just typing in the chat my email in case you need to reach me out. Okay. Now, that being said, let's move to the next point. So we have the 4 major macro areas, and now we're gonna see something that is basically breaking down these macro areas in a little bit more detailed point. Okay. So this is a form. Do you remember when I said the list of the action to do? The first one was creating a form. Okay, so here is a form. On the left column here, you got the topic, and I want to read them quite quickly, okay? So for example, hospitality procedure, telephone protocol, courtesy service, booking system, data collection, client database, new client action procedure, abandoned client procedure, consultation procedure, diagnosis system, more inside knowledge. More inside is about literally about products here, lines of product, essential air care, authentic mask, new color, view, alchemic, finest pigment, the century of light. Here we go back to other like skin and hair science, principle of hair color, principle of haircut, principles of finishing, plan and developing, briefing, debriefing, incentive program, recognition, usage of marketing tools, internal education. Okay, these are is a good list, but we can actually expand more. Okay, now the So talking about the knowledge, okay, I just to review and expand the meaning is about I know what it is and the characteristics, okay, and its characteristics, sorry. So basically, if we think about it, as you can see here, there is some, give me a second. Okay, here we go. These cells are colored because these four, I know, more inside, natural tech, mass, can you color review, etc., etc. The first point is to be evaluated is, okay, let's pretend that my salon is carrying all these lines. How is my knowledge related to this point, okay? And what we need to do is creating an evaluation here, okay? Now, what's next? Competencies. So I know what it is, but I also know how to use it. So, and here we go, for example, when we speak about competencies, it's about, for example, hospitality, telephone protocol, courtesy service, or procedure for consultation or diagnosis, right? So, and so on. Now, skill set, right? So we have skill. Oh, sorry, guys. We need to go back. We need to go back. Oh. No. Give me a second. I pressed the button too early. Here we go. Okay. Now, so we have a skill set. So here, skill set, we see the green cells are principle of hair color, principle of haircut, principle of finishing. So as I was saying, I'm good. I know how to do the haircut, but I am also good evaluating how much precise I am, you know, or fast I am. Now, next one is the management, means I do it. I know how to do leading and so on. Now, what I would recommend is creating some form like this one where you can use this example, but you can also cut off what you don't need or what you don't use and add whatever is relevant for your business. Okay, now the next step is the fact that we need to create an evaluation. We need to create an evaluation, and I personally would use a scale for the evaluation, which is a 1 to 5 scale. You can use 1 to 10, 1 to 7, 1 to 4. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. I do like 1 to 5 because you have to me it's a good, but you can use probably even 1 to 10. Okay. Now, that being said, what is important to understand is the fact that, I mean, in this table, as you can see, there are some, give me another color because you can't see it. I made some numbers, you know, I put inside the numbers, literally casual numbers. It's a very, I even don't think about it. I really put some numbers inside between 1 to 5, just to get at the end with a final, evaluation, okay? With the final evaluation. At the end of the column, in the lower part of the slide, you can see there is our average total. So average total in the knowledge is 2.5, in the competencies is 3.8, in the skill set is 3, in the management is 3. Of course, our imaginary numbers, it doesn't matter if it's logical or not, the results in there. So just to giving to you an example. Now, so basically what we have is this, okay? We have these numbers here. And how to use this number now, it's up to you now, because maybe this is something that I don't like. Okay, so what does it mean? That I probably need to go here and really check what is okay and what is not, and realize that probably I need to study, or I need to go to some classes, whatever, but it is important to work on that. So competencies is 3.8. Yeah, they are not too bad, but it's so and so. Personal opinion, guys. When we measure that, I mean, when we do self-evaluation, it is important to be really, I would say, I don't know this word in English actually, really rigid, straight with yourself, right? It's good to celebrate things, but also if you want to improve, don't be too sweet. And to me, when we use a scale 1 to 5, as more we are around the number 4, as better it is. Below number 4 is not that good. Above, from 4 to above, that is the best. Okay. In general, this is a reference. Okay. Now, is it clear up to here, guys? Do you have, what question do you have? Any question, guys? Have you ever used something similar for your personal business or for your salon, from your team, etc.? Please help me out. Give me some answer. I'm checking the chat, or as I said, you can talk, guys. You really can. You just press the bar. You're all allowed to talk. Thank you, Annette. No question. Very good. No, I haven't used anything like this. I only wish my salon owner would do something like this. Well, you can take an example, and Lori, you can show the videos to your salon owner. Now, this is a Tracy, thank you. And now, what I want to do, guys, it's important. I mean, just I don't know if you know anything about my background or no, but I'm a stylist. You know, I'm an hairdresser, as you are, guys. I do have the opportunity and the lucky to even be a owner of 2 salons, which were even quite with a wide staff. You know, a good team, big team. And of course, I grew my learnings, and even ongoing. By developing also classes to teach, I was also practicing things in my salon. And one of the things that I started to develop was, as I would say, this is a little bit more simplified the way I'm showing to you for time reason. But I was doing evaluation like this ones literally every 4 months with the whole team. So there was either an evaluation about the process of the salon, but also assessment of individuals perform. And also the way I was doing is, so basically there was an evaluation similar to that for each single member of the team. And everyone were also evaluating each other. So basically at the end, it was a big amount of data collected in a singular, in like a Excel file, which was calculating all the averages. So basically the evaluation was not only created from the owner to the team, but also the team was evaluating everybody else. And plus, there were also considered the numbers. I mean, literally the productive numbers. But this was made from the software. So this is a really incredible and powerful way to work as a team, not be scared to be under-evaluated or extra-estimated, because everyone has a perception of what, you know, the way I act, the way I do things, the way, you know, so it's not my only self-perception, but it's also the perception coming from other people in my team. That was absolutely a fantastic methodology that I really started to use, and I used for a few years before actually selling my business, which was running quite well, but I simply followed my heart, which was more in education, and I simply decided to leave the salon to my business partners, and and going around educating, which was absolutely became my first passion. Okay, so but I really recommend to do something like that. It really help you out to figure out where to work and not be randomly you doing things, but being very focused on what are the priority of your business. Now, that being said, guys, I'm going to show you, I mean, we still have another, let's say 15 minutes to stay together. And I have a few short videos that I want to show you just to help you out to observe what happened in your salon from like an external point of view. When you go back in your salon, try sometimes to be, or you can film yourself, or try to imagine yourself not being the person who is doing things, but as an external people observing. Okay, now the video you're going to see is a little bit dated. I mean, it's something that we realized for Davines, Italy, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I guess, just immediately after I arrived in Davines. I think it was 7 years ago. The language spoken is Italian. I lowered down the language because I don't want you to be focused on the language. I want you to be focused on details of what you're going to see, okay? And after that, I really pray you that you will interact with me and give me some, I will ask you a question, okay? Observe, please take a look of this.
Buongiorno signora, posso essere d'aiuto?
Buongiorno, sono Francesca. Avrei un appuntamento.
Ben arrivata Francesca, la stavamo aspettando. Io sono Sara, piacere, una delle responsabili del salone. Il suo appuntamento di oggi era per un taglio e una piega?
Esatto.
Prego, venga, si accomodi, le faccio vedere in guardaroba. Se vuole darmi la sua giacca. Ora le faccio indossare il nostro camice. Ecco. Prego, venga, le faccio fare un brevissimo tour del nostro salone. Qui trova l'angolo relax con diverse bevande calde, tisane, caffè. Si senta pure libera di servirsi senza complimenti.
Grazie.
Da questa parte ci sono i servizi e invece qui in fondo l'angolo lettura con diverse riviste di settore, moda, architettura, design. Inoltre vorrei informarla che il nostro team è altamente qualificato, merita tutto ciò che concerne i migliori trattamenti e servizi per i suoi capelli. Sono anche aggiornatissimi sulle nuove tendenze stilistiche. Ora le presento Lorenzo che si occuperà dei suoi capelli oggi.
Buongiorno, piacere, sono Lorenzo.
Francesca, piacere.
Lorenzo, Francesca ha un appuntamento con te per un taglio e una piega oggi.
Prego Francesca, mi segua.
Okay, guys, now it's time to provide me some consideration. What was captured from your eyes in this short video? Even though you didn't understand the language, but you can follow what happened in the video. Okay, big beautiful salon. Yes, it was. What else? Okay, there was not one did deliver on her own. Very good. Very hands-on service. Very good. Teamwork. Very good. Cool. I think Okay, wonderful. So my question to you is, for example, there is something that you, I mean, there was something in the tour. I mean, when the clients arrived, you know, shaking the hands. Guys, we can't shake the hands in the near future when we open the salon, unfortunately. But anyway, guidance through the salons, exactly. So basically, for example, something that I learned in my business experience is the fact often happen that when we have new clients, we don't make them feel like at home. It means, I mean, you know, when you have a guest at home, would you guys make I mean, it's not enough to say feel yourself, help yourself, feel yourself like a home, your home, right? In reality, bring the client, bring the guest, bring your friends around your home. Explain to them, okay, well, this is my is where to find the, I don't know, glasses. This is the restroom if you need. I mean, this is where we keep food or drink and so on, guys. Absolutely. I mean, the tour was one of the things that we created. Of course, this video I did create it for some business classes, and the people in the video are some clients and some people from the office. Francesca, the long hair, she is now marketing manager in Davines France subsidiary. I mean, these people, Davines people. And I'm gonna show you something else, okay? So make sure you observe. I still have a few minutes to spend with you. I want to make sure you you're gonna see myself also in this video.
Allora ragazzi, come state? È stata una giornata impegnativa, vero? Però devo dire che è stata anche profittevole, quindi grazie per l'impegno e insomma, il rapporto che avete davvero profuso durante tutta la giornata. Immagino che sarete anche stanchi e per questa ragione non voglio tenere questo video serale molto lungo, perciò se ci sono cose particolari che desiderate discutere avvenute insomma, durante il corso della giornata che meritano diciamo, nota, allora parliamo, ma se no, se siete d'accordo, mi muoverei direttamente sulla giornata di domani. Okay, allora, muoviamoci pure sulla giornata di domani. Allora, innanzitutto domani sarà un'altra giornata molto simile a quella di oggi, vi dico già, perché ci sono già 15 prenotazioni e come al solito la mattina appena si apre la porta ci sono telefonate in arrivo, quindi non ho dubbi sul fatto che domani si riempirà tutta la giornata. Vediamo subito alcuni casi, ad esempio Lorenzo, la tua prima cliente delle 9, si chiama Francesca, sì, l'ho segnato qua, si chiama Francesca e che è una, ho preso io l'appuntamento tra l'altro, lei ha richiesto di fare il taglio una piega, ma io ti ho tenuto diciamo 20-25 minuti di tempo in più rispetto a quello che normalmente ti servirebbe per questo servizio. Che cosa pensi di poterle offrire in più?
E non avendola mai vista, pensavo a un trattamento nourishing in buona clinica a casa.
So I simply wanted to cut this video, not because it's not important. I mean, but I want to, for example, this was meant to be, and there was a very good action that if you're working in a team, it was so relevant for me doing that when I was leading my salon. So basically, I mean, I would not say that it was possible every day because sometimes you can't, plus you have maybe some different urination, but doing that at least a couple of times a week, like around 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes at the end of the day, used to be debrief, if literally to debrief the day and to celebrate the wins, and also to communicating expectations. Very good, Laurie. It helps a lot also to set the next day, and And there was no, I mean, there was, you know, having some where you are sharing with your employees what you need for the clients and the salon. Very good. Absolutely. Like in a restaurant. Very good. Thank you, Alison. So this is a procedure that I tell you, it's like using 20 minutes, which will increase the loyalty of the, not the loyalty, the, sorry, the team. It's like the team glue is giving to you a new energy for the next day, helping people for the next day, and is absolutely super, super powerful. But all of these, why I'm saying that is because, I mean, I have several video here that I can share to you, because this was like a full movie of 45 minutes, considering all the area of the salon, but it was made exactly to create a kind of reference to observe points, right? It's like that you create your own moon, ideal moon. So the video is my ideal moon, right? My ideal objective. And to get there, I need to create a form to evaluate, to esteem, and then I need to observe and based on that, I need to take actions, okay? Based on the results, I need to decide, okay, what type of education then I need to change this number? What type of, I don't know, strategy do I need to change for improve this number? Is there anything that as a team we need to learn to improve our skill set? Who can help in that? And what to do in terms of leadership in managing stuff? Okay, so basically, guys, this is it is an incredible, powerful tool that I definitely recommend you to create for your salon itself. So now, how can I help you more, guys? Because seriously, it's so difficult to, you know, I'm trying to inspire you, providing you some tips and tricks, some examples of things done. But to me, it's really important to know, how can I even be more effectful for yourself? What can I do? And please give me a shout, give me a hand, say hello with your voice. You, as I said, you are allowed to talk, so make sure you, right? Yeah, I can understand, Alison. Yeah, you're right. I mean, sometimes being a boot rental, it's like being in your own salon, inside of many other salons. So I understand, especially in the situation like this, which is a quite common situation in the US. However, you can create your own form, as I did show in the before, you know, this one. You definitely can create your own to self-evaluate what is putting down your own topics that you want to evaluate, and then you can go through and you can set your own standard and measure what improvement you made in the next 3-4 months, and making sure that every 3-4 months, when you decide the frequency, you do it. You can't skip it, because this is a commitment for your growth. Okay. Thank you, Tracy. Guys, it's incredible how fast the time is running out when we are here together. I want to, first of all, if you probably, I don't know if you know, or if you're interested, in a half an hour. So basically, literally at, no, it's not 4 p.m. It is actually 5:30 p.m. 30 minutes from now, I will be live again. And you will find on the Davines Education Facebook page, you can click going if you want to attend to the 5-minute to care and retail therapy program all together. If you have time and you want to join and you didn't, we're going to get some interesting tools there. I'm going to repeat this live next Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard European Time. If you couldn't attend, or if you have some friends that they couldn't attend and you want to spread the word, please do it, share it, and we'll be glad to see you virtually again next Friday. But I didn't post it here now yet. Next week, we're going to have another topic that we will post on Davines Education. Check the calendar. We're going to have the continuation of our journey in the business area. Guys, once again, I want to thank you so much for your participation, for your being here with us on behalf of the whole Davines Education team. We invite you in all the other classes are running, and we wish you all the best for the reopening, which is going to happen soon. Take care. I love you guys. I'm going to stop this live right now. See you very, very soon. Thank you. Ciao. Thank you, guys. Thank you all.